when I was a kid, we had Scholastic book fairs all the time. They weren't ever really that bad. It was mostly a bunch of garbage and like educational toys. Every once in a while, I'd get the cheat code books off of there. I've got 2 cheat code books over there on my bookshelf that I got way back when from Scholastic book fairs. I used to get stuff like that all the time, but those times are kind of lost on me. I don't know where it's gone now. I figured that it was just about the same, but apparently not. Lynn Beck is gonna tell us what Scholastic's forcing on our kids. And I can already take a pretty wild guess of what it is.
We welcome back to the program a good friend, actor and producer, and dare I say it, activist, Kirk Cameron.
Ooh, I didn't know Kirk Cameron was going to be here.
I've been given worse words. I got a few labels nowadays.
But you really kind of have, I mean, I think we all have. If you care about what's going on in the country, you can't sit around anymore.
No, I think those days are over. At least I hope that they're over. Because there are others on the other side who are not sitting around. They are reformers. They're not sitting on the couch watching CNN or Fox sort of crying about a Republican, conservative,
Yeah, they're not watching the news. They're looking at, if they watch any news, they're getting it from Twitter or getting it from headlines from Google that they see on their phone or Apple.
Christian win here or there. They're saying, we've got a ground game and we're relentless. We're not going to stop. And I think we could learn a lot of lessons from them.
Yeah. Scholastic, they have had their book fairs for years. And we've
over 100 years.
Yeah. And we've all grown to trust that brand as Disney. And they've kind of gone the way of Disney, haven't they?
That's right. That's right. They're now controllers in part of the woke matrix. And
yeah, once you get big enough, the government starts to dig their fingers down in deep into these companies, and basically they just become intertwined. And anything that happens in the government happens in these companies. Anything that happens in these companies happens in the government, and they just kind of kiss each other's asses until we get to this point.
And they're so massively influential. Have you ever wondered when you watch these videos of moms at school boards screaming and yelling about this sexually explicit content, this nudity, this pornography coming down to elementary school kids? Where does this stuff come from? Is it the board members? Is it the librarian who's into this weird stuff? No. There's a wolf in grandma's clothing, to use the Little Red Riding Hood metaphor. And that wolf, we have discovered, is the world's largest publisher and distributor of children's books, which is Scholastic. They're a billion-dollar company, around for over 100 years. They have over 100,000 book fairs across the country, hundreds every single day in public and private schools. And the books are increasingly laced with gender-confusing, race-infused, pornographic, sexually explicit.
See, the way they think is that they're trying to desexualize everything by making everything sexualized, but that doesn't actually desexualize anything. Everything's just sexualized. That logic makes no sense, but that's how they think.
Material that you can't even advertise on Facebook. The conservative Christian conglomerate Meta is even saying you can't show that stuff. And those are adult standards. That's not even pointing out the fact that these are images and content for minors.
How is this even... Honestly, how is this even legal or possible? What was the state that
legal.
just passed the law that if you can't say it on FCC regulated airwaves, you can't use it in schools?
That's right.
And I don't understand it when these school boards will sit there and say, as parents will angrily read a book that their kids brought home, and they'll say, that's not appropriate. What do you mean it's not appropriate? We're all adults.
Yeah, exactly. And Glenn and Stu, I want you to know that I'm not using hyperbole here. I didn't believe this until I bought the books and I read them myself. I'm holding them up here, and we've got Welcome to St. Hell, we've got Stars in Their Eyes, Rick, Melissa, George, all sorts of books. And in there is literally instruction manuals for preteen children on how to have sex as another gender and how to turn your female tiny sex organ into your very own 2-inch willy by injecting yourself with hormones.
Oh, God.
You've got underage drinking, clothes off, in bed. You've got scars from top surgery, breast removal, pictures, drawings, cartoons. All of
Made
this.
for what age?
These are for 8 to 12.
Oh, my God.
And then it goes younger when it really.
I just want to point out, you ever notice when kids go through phases when they're younger? There'll be a kid that he used to wear Hawaiian shirts and he used to spike his hair. And now he's got a buzz cut, started listening to rap music, and he wants to look like the rappers, so he starts wearing baggy clothes and starts wearing the hats to match. And he gets out of that. So he gets into the rock music and emo music, becomes an emo. Like, these things happen, and it's all based on what the environment is and what you see and what you get into. And these people know that.
He gets into books like Julian is a Mermaid, where you have a grandmother who is what can only be described by me as grooming her grandson to explore the world of drag. These are for little kids. These are like kindergarten, first grade stuff.
Oh, my God.
And so you're now talking about studies from the United States government that reveal that you expose children to sexual material early, you increase their odds of being victimized, of going down aberrant trails.
We all know this. We've known this forever.
If you're a parent, you know all of this stuff. And the fact that there are federal laws prohibiting the distribution of pornographic and obscene materials for minors because it's harmful to them doesn't go away when you put it into books like this
cartoon.
and say that they're educational. It doesn't make them less obscene and any less harmful. And so we've got to wake up and not just, frankly, yell at the school board because they're heavily invested. They haven't read every book in their library, and the books are laced. It's like you know, you get Halloween candy that's laced with fentanyl. You don't necessarily know that it's there, but
To burn churches. That would technically be educational. Should you be doing that? Fuck no.
But Scholastic is lacing their books with obscene material in the middle of the pages with benign-looking covers, so they don't even know it's there. So what we need to do is say, now that we know,
Yeah,
now
they're
that
not
we're
going to read
exposing
it. These people don't read
let's stop
unless
yelling
it's
at the
on
school
Twitter.
board. Turn around in the board meeting, look at the parents and say, hey, mom and dad, what are you doing? Why are you dropping your kids off here 7 hours a day to be indoctrinated by these people? Don't you understand that the whole point of this is to separate you from your children? You sexualize children, you drive a wedge between you and them, and they will go down roads because of their natural curiosity and their impressionable minds with teachers who are pushing this stuff.
Yes.
And Scholastic former CEO is saying we are committed to putting more and more of this material in more and more channels as we possibly can. In fact, they apologized to the leftist organizations when they pulled back a little bit in some of these book fairs and put these LGBTQ obscene other type pornographic material.
Side.
They put it off to the side and said this is an optional package you could order. No. They want it mainstream, front and center, and so they apologized and doubled down on their efforts. This is Scholastic, the 1,000-pound gorilla in the space.
So what are you doing? Because you have been great in libraries. You are on this and becoming.
I'm seeing entire groups of friends identifying as all different kinds of crazy stuff. Because my brother's a little bit younger, so he was in that kind of. He's in that kind of area of age of the later high school kids, and they're all groups of friends coming out as trans, and they're all just identifying as all different kinds of crazy stuff. And you notice that it's all in groups. The people that are off by themselves, they're just normal.
Wait,
the
are they
face.
allowing you in libraries now? I thought you were getting kicked out of libraries. I thought that was your thing.
Well,
I didn't know they let you inside.
They're so inclusive, they don't let me in the front door.
Right, yeah. But you can get in.
But you can
through
get
a
in
window.
because this is America. Yes, and this is America. And there are many, many libraries who actually want us to come. So we have two things that I'm doing to sort of as a proposed solution to this horrible wolf in grandma's clothing. One, we've created a PDF so that parents can download the PDF and see everything that I'm talking about. Page, book number, author biographies, all of this stuff. You can show it to your fellow parents in the school, show it to your principal, show it to your librarians and school board members. Make them aware of what's going on. And then don't just stick it to them to figure it out. We have actually created a nonprofit. It was started by a concerned mother called Skytree Book Fairs. You can replace these harmful scholastic book fairs with helpful, wholesome book fairs with 500 books that have all been vetted and screened to
Dude, that
take out
sounds
all
awesome.
of the nasty pornography.
Wait, hold on. It was called what now?
With helpful, you can replace these harmful scholastic Skytree book fairs.
Skytree.
You can replace
Skytree. Hold on. Skytreebookfairs.org. I need to remember that.
these harmful scholastic book fairs with helpful, wholesome book fairs with 500 books that have all been vetted and screened to take out all of the nasty pornography and the critical race theory and the race stuff. And they're about wholesome, good values. And we already have over 700 public and private schools that have already begun the process of replacing Scholastic with Skytree book fairs. And the first one is coming up next month in Spotsylvania, Virginia.
First one.
Public school superintendent of the district is so excited about this. They have gotten rid of Scholastic. They're putting in Skytree book fairs.
Public school.
Public school.
How are they getting away with that?
Oh, because they can. They can choose what book fairs they want or don't want. The reason that so many public schools and private schools go with Scholastic is A, they're trusted, right? It's you think it's grandma.
Disney.
You don't know that grandma was eaten up by the wolf.
Yeah.
And now he's dressed in this trusted clothing called Scholastic. B, the schools actually get money from the books that are sold at the book fairs, right? There's a percentage that goes back to the school. So that's part of their budget.
Does that happen with the Skytree books?
That's a good question. I believe it does. I believe that they get funds that come back to them to invest in more books like this and more programs that reinforce these values.
So how do you, first of all, how do you get the
PDF?
The PDF.
You just go to skytreebookfairs.org. It's a nonprofit. Skytreebookfairs.org. Download the PDF. It's really easy. You can text it to people, email it to people, and also there are instructions there on how to begin the process of bringing Skytree book fairs to your school.
It's fantastic.
Well, it's an option, and this is what's exciting about living at this time. Glenn, you just said you're born for a reason, on purpose, for a purpose, at a
Yeah, we're starting to get options going, and companies that were needed but have become garbage are beginning to be replaced with companies like this, and it's nice to see.
specific time for these problems. I think that's why we're sitting here right now.
It is.
Isn't it mind-blowing to think, Stu, that before the stars began to shine in the universe, God knew that you and Glenn and I would be sitting here talking about just such an absurd reality that we live in, and then having ideas to do something about it. And we can do it together and make a difference.
What's really amazing to me is he has that for everybody. And how many people have been convinced by evil that they don't have a purpose, there isn't anything they can do, that they shouldn't pay attention, or they will get in trouble if they, stand up for things. All of these lies.
Yeah. Well, because our schools, again, real education, I think, has been eaten by the ravenous wolf and replaced with something else. So when you take God out of the picture, you don't have what you're saying. You don't have meaning and identity and purpose, other than this is how bacteria reacts at these temperatures. After billions of years, cancer cells, why discriminate? cancer cells from other cells. They're just trying to survive as well. No. There is good, there is bad, and there is purpose. And
as you're going around America and you're doing these things, what are you feeling?
I'm feeling that we are living in really exciting times. Revival, great awakenings, people snapping out of their stupors have always
I'm also
happened
seeing this.
in this country and around the world during times of moral collapse, spiritual apathy, economic decline,
As things are getting crazier,
and
people
political
are
corruption.
noticing.
Yeah. And warfare.
I think we're due for one.
No, I think we are
They
too.
tend to happen about every 50 years.
Yeah, I think this.
This is what I'm sensing.
This Israel thing has also awakened a lot. Not just the bloodthirst on October 7th, but also the bloodthirst that's in our own streets. I think people are going, wait a minute, what? You're for what now? I think there's a lot of people that were just kind of coasting along and just, living on the, the fringe.
I think a lot of people just have nothing better to do. And they just hate for no reason. They hate to hate because they like to hate.
And just kind of like, I'm not going to take a stand, that are seeing things now and going, wait a minute, this is not what's happening here.
Yeah, I agree. When you have a beer and you kind of have that buzz that sort of dulls your senses a little bit and everything just kind of seems like it's floating along, I feel like because of our prosperity, because of our comfort and the ease with which we can go through days and just pick up a latte and Uber to the cafe, we've sort of been in this dull-minded buzz, not recognizing the essential truths that if you are not pursuing truth and beauty and goodness sacrificially and leaning into that stuff with everything, including math, history, science, English, and economics and agriculture, you're screwed long term, and your children will pay for it. That's what we're waking up to now. People are sobering up.
Okay, I want you to go to SkyTreeBookFairs.org. SkyTreeBookFairs.org. Get the PDF he's talking about, send it and share it with everybody, and then go to your school and see if you can get the Skytree Book Fairs to come and do a book fair at your kid's school. It is important that we see these trusted brands that have...
I don't have any kids, so I'm not going to do this. But if you got kids, I definitely recommend doing that, because that sounds awesome. I wonder what kind of books they got. Because I'm sure Scholastic has like the rights to all their books, and I know that Scholastic has some really good books in their lineup, so I don't know. I bet Skytree's got some really good stuff too. I bet a lot of it is like licensed to anybody who just grabs the license, so.
Long ago gone off the beaten path and gone their own way and are actually poisonous to our society and our kids. We have to see these brands for what they are. And time is really running out. It's not too late, but it is gravely urgent that you do this now. SkyTreeBookFairs.org.
I give that video about a 7 out of 10. It was kind of boring. I kind of already knew that was happening, but I didn't realize Scholastic was taken up too. That sucks. Thought it was just in the libraries, but of course it would be Scholastic. And I've got some Scholastic books over here from back in the day of the 2000s. My conclusion is homeschool your kids or get together with a bunch of other parents, hire a couple teachers, and then group school your kids. Because these government-run schools, they ain't it.